In applications like Photoshop, you have many effects that you can apply to your images that give you that extra professional look. One of these methods is called screen blend mode. Blend screen mode basically allows you to lighten your images and give it a more sort of transparency type look. So we're going to recreate this effect in using CSS. So in this tutorial, we're going to sort of build a simple layout with Flexbox and with 4 columns, and we're going to apply these filters to these different 4 columns with an image in the background so that we can see the effect as shown here. Okay, let's start up the project. I'm going to create a directory on the desktop, call it a demo, and go into Visual Code and open up the folder. So I'll put it on the desktop. So demo folder, create a folder. Okay, now what we need to do is create a HTML, index.html, index.html, and then we also need a main.css to store our style sheet. Okay, going into index.html and create a standard HTML for a page, and let's do tab. Okay, so I'm going to link the CSS. Okay, so we called it main.css. So we're going to be using the main.css here. Okay, so now in the body, I'm going to be creating a div with header. Then I'm going to have a plus div dot wrapper. Then I'm going to have div dot one plus div dot two plus div dot three plus div dot 4. So we're going to have 4. So that was just a shorthand of how to create this markup. So I've got a header, a wrapper with 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. Right. Note that our given classes for the 4 divs as classes 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the header as header. Next, we're going to be needing a picture for our background. So we're going to go to a site called pixels.com, okay, and we're going to do a search on holidays. Image. So I'm going to be using this picture, so I'm going to be downloading it. Let's download. We're going to download it, then we're going to copy it into our demo directory so that we can use it as a background. Copy and put it into, where is it? Demo. Right, paste. And I'll just call it pick 1. Alright. Okay, let's start styling the body. Okay, body is going to be, I'm going to give it a height, 100 view height, so it's going to be 100% on the particular display. I'm going to give it the background image, and image, and the URL is pick one, JPG, and then we're going to have font family. Okay. So we're going to have the background size, and we want color, and then background position center. Background position. So when it's centered. So let's have a look at that. Okay. So then what we're going to do now is we're going to have a wrapper. Right. Wrapper. And let's say display flex. Oops. Display flex. And I'm going to justify the content. Justify content, and we want space between. Okay, so I'm going to have a height of 90%. Okay, so then we're going to have, inside that wrapper, we're going to have the 4 divs. Okay, so we'll just use the selector for that wrapper, and the has children of divs. That's going to target the 4 divs. And what we're going to do is give it a background color. Background color. Color of we're going to have it transparent, sorry, transparent. And I'm going to have the border. It's going to be, I'm going to give it a thick border, so it's going to be 20 px. Solid. And let's just say, we just call it blue at the moment. Okay, so we're going to change that a little bit. So I'm going to have a color. So the text color is going to be white, and the height we're going to have it 100%, and the width 30%. So it's going to be 4 divs, so it's 30% roughly. Okay, display. We're going to have, okay, each div will have some other divs to for the content, so those are going to be positioned as flex items. Flex. So that's flex, right? And there, and we'll give it a flex direction of column. And then we're going to justify the content. Justify content, and it's going to be flex end. Flex end. Okay, then we're going to have box sizing. So because we've got the border, we don't want the size, the width, to having funny effects on the layout. So it's going to be border box. Border box. Oops. Border box. Okay, let's just save that and have a look. Okay. Okay, so that's the layout we got so far. So these are going to be these are going to have some content in them, just basically, and then they're going to be flex items. So we need to sort of position these. Okay. All right. So that's okay. So we can give that. Let's just see. We can give it an RGB, solid RGBA, and it's 255, 255, 255, 0.5. So what I'm doing here is I'm giving it a white color and with a transparency of 0.5. So this is going to make the border more transparent. As you can see, the borders have become transparent because I've given a color and an opacity value. So now we're going to have another a div within those child elements. So we're going to insert it. So as a sort of a pseudo element. So this is how we do that. Wrapper, and it's div. It's going to be after. Okay, and then we're going to have a height of 50%, and then the content is going to be a blank content, so we're creating an element with nothing in it. Okay, so and the background color, color, just leave it as black. Okay, we're going to change that. So display is going to be block. So see that. So you see we've got 4 columns, and then within those columns we've got a div that's placed at the bottom. So that's what we've just done. So we've got the main wrapper, then inside there we've got 4 columns. Then within those each columns we've got a div with content. Okay, and we've given it a black color. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to individually style those 4 columns. So it's div, so target individually. So div 1, and it's pseudo after. Right. So and we're going to give it a background. And color of okay, the first one's going to be black. Right. Right. And we need another one, the second one. And this is going to be, right. Just trying to get the color. Alright, we're going to give it a bit lighter, right? Okay, then so that's going to be called 2. And the next one is going to be 3, and that's going to be sort of in the middle-ish, a bit that way. Okay, so, and the next one, okay, it's going to be 4. And that's going to be white. Put in the space there. Okay, so we got a sort of a spectrum from black to white, and in the middle is sort of grayish. Okay, so save that. So what we have here is we got 4 colors in the 4 columns, from black to white, and in between grays. Now, what's going to happen is when we apply the blending, is the black would be more transparent, and while the white would be more opaque. So that's the effect that we're going to get. So what we're going to do is now have the effect of the blend mode here, okay, to this repetitive after. Okay, so so it's called mix blend mode, right? We want screen. So there you have it. We have the black has become transparent, and the white has remained opaque, and everything in the middle has the grey has a level of transparency to it, and that's the effect of mixed blend modes. And next we'll add a sort of a title there. So to add the title, it's going to be another pseudo element, so it's going to be dot wrapper, going to be a div, and it's going to be before. Remember we had after there, so it's going to be before, so it's going to be a beginning of that parent. It's so. And what we're going to have is a height of 10%. And the content, okay, we're going to have something like, can you see? See. Okay, and then the background color. It's going to be, let me see. We're going to have Just going to have a grey in, let me see, I'm going to have a grey, let's just say have it in the middle, okay, that top, okay, that will do. And the colour be black. Font size, have it 3 view width. A particular, okay, mix blend mode. So we're going to apply the mix blend mode here as well. So it's going to be screen. Save that. So you got the little header there, and you can see the text has become transparent because it's black, and it's got a sort of an opaque header to it. Okay, so let's also add a header to it, and well, some text to the header. Okay, so let's call it clear blue sky. Then we're going to go and style it. So let's just make sure, yep, it's called header. So say dot header, and we're going to have a display flex, and we're going to align, I think it's items, center, and justify content, center, and so height is 10% of 10%. What are we going to have? Let me see. 10 view height. View height. Okay, then we're going to give it a background color. Flex direction. Direction is column. And background. Color, we're going to give it a sort of a grey. Alright. And color, we're going to say black. And font size, we're going to have it 10 view width. Padding is 0.5. Yeah. Okay. So all this does is it centers everything. So if I save that. Okay, so it's turned out grey, so we're going to apply the effect to it now. It's going to be it's going to also be flat. There's a mix blend mode screen. So the text is not there. So I'm just going to save that too, so the text appears. Okay, so the text has appeared. Right. So I can also, if I go back, I can give it a sort of a tint color to this, and it will give it a different effect. So if I go to 4, so that before after. So if I give it a sort of a let me just do that again. Okay, so oops. Okay, I'm gonna give it a red color. First, save that. You'll see it's giving it a tint, so I can go in there, give it a green color. Yeah. Say a green. Okay, that's not green. Okay, so go there, save, right. So it's giving a different color, a tint to it now. So you can play around with the colors, the gradients. You can even give it a radar. So I can even give it a radar, a gradient. So if I go, just change it to a radar, and so that's a radar gradient there. So you can give that a sort of a different green color or something, So instead of white, you can say, give it a green. As you can see in the middle, there is a green tint to it, and that's the radar effect that we just given. So you can play around with this and create many effects. So hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and thanks very much for watching.